Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on live hiphopdaily.tv. Got my man JayDotRain in here with me, man.
Yeah.
What's up with you, boss?
Doing good, man. Blessed to be here. Thank you for having me, bro.
No doubt, dog. Hey, matter of fact, I feel like this is a long time coming because I had made a mention before you got on that, when Chris J put me on to you first, you know what I'm saying, the records y'all had, that Bad Habits. And he was telling me early, he said, Mac, you're going to want to get J-Dot on this show.
Shout out to Chris J, man. That's my dog, man. He
Man.
been doing a lot of big shit, and I got wind of y'all from him, so shout out to Chris J.
All right, so Chris J about to be the plug. All right, long story short, man. So let's get into this, man. So before we get started, man, for those who don't know, who is JayDotRain?
JayDotRain is a 28-year-old guy from Alabama who moved to Atlanta. College graduate, a lover of music, entrepreneur, businessman, just an all-around just good guy, just out here just making moves in the city.
Word, man. You from Tuscaloosa, right?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yo, that L must have hurt, man. You still holding that?
Yeah, I'm holding it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, roll tide, bro.
Yo, I was laughing. I pulled up to the studio yesterday on some humbug shit, and they had the game playing in the back. Now, when I left here, Clemson was up 21-16. I stayed on Northside Drive. By the time I got home, it was 44-16.
So let me tell you, man. It's weird, dog. Like, for me, with Bama games, I always watch them.
Okay.
But yesterday, I was super tired, bro.
Oh,
and
you didn't miss it.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to sleep because I just believed that we was going to win. You know what I'm saying? I went to sleep. I woke up, and it was the fourth quarter. And, like, you know when you wake up and your eyes, you just can't really see for real. It's dark. So I'm looking down. I see 14, but I see the 4 from the 44. So I'm like, okay, so it's still tied up. But then I wipe my eyes. It was 44-14. I was like, damn. I went back to sleep.
But look, man, that was a hard game to watch. And I'm not even, I ain't a Bama fan nor a Clemson fan, but they made Trevor Lawrence like Superman last night, bro.
Yeah, man, I saw the highlights, man. Shout out to Trevor Lawrence.
Bro, this team's right now trying to tank for the next 2 years to draft him. Like, he was a beast last night, bro.
He did his shit, man. But
anyway,
we'll be back next year.
I don't want to pile. Yeah, y'all got next year. There's always next year, man. So let's talk to us about how you got into music in the first place. Like, what attracted you to the music scene?
I think for me, it's always just been how it made me feel. Like, even as a kid, like, I always was interested in, like, my mom, she would play like the Mary J. Blige's, and she would play like all the soul music when she was cleaning up. So I always liked music. When I was in the 6th grade, I was able to start, playing around with instruments. I was in the band, so then that kind of translated into me going to high school, continuing with the band, and going to college. I marched in the band at the HBCU for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've always been connected to it some kind of way, and I just kind of decided around like 18, 19 to start taking it serious. I was, writing poetry and stuff like that. That was like my escape. So I kind of turned it into, making the music, and it's been working. So that's why I'm at with it now. That's
major, man. So when you was coming up, who was some of the artists you were listening to, like, heavy?
I like Jay-Z for sure. Let me see. My uncle used to play like a lot of Master P and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Outkast, stuff like that.
Now, with you being from Bama, was you like a Mr. Biggs? Was you a Dirty fan, like growing up?
I like Dirty. I like the Hit the Flow video. I really like that because that was like on MTV and stuff like that.
Yo, Hit the Flow was hard, man.
Mr. Biggs, I found out about him a little bit later.
Okay.
But, you know what I'm saying, Biggs got some dope shit, you know what I'm saying? Shout out 251, my nigga Lil Nardy in here with me. You know what I'm saying? So.
You know what? And shout out to Dope B too, man. Like we was really looking at a chance when Alabama was about to finally open up, really. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Dope B was like the nigga that was like gone too soon. Like, I feel like for Alabama, he was that nigga, like he was the bankroll of Alabama, I would say. You know what I'm saying? So he was just like right there on the cusp of something big and just got his life taken away too soon.
Sounds sad, man. So let's talk about how Alabama, I guess, influenced your style, or influenced who you are right now as an artist. Like, what was it like growing up in Alabama, and how did Alabama play a part in who you became now?
Well, Tuscaloosa isn't like in Atlanta or a major city, so I had to take influences from like things that I would see on TV, like the music that I would listen to. I can't say that I necessarily took something from being in Alabama, but like the stories growing up, like being close knit with family and friends, like that stuff that I still incorporate into my music. But I pulled a lot of influence from like just what I saw around me. To be honest.
How did you find your way to Atlanta? Like in the process of all that, like what made you bump up to here?
It's kind of crazy. I was in college 2013, 14. Scotty was doing this shit, and I was a fan of his, and so he ended up having a show in Birmingham, Alabama at the time, I think, and I drove down just to watch the show or whatnot. And after the show, the type of person I am, if I want to make something happen, I'm just gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So he was getting off stage, and I kind of just ran up on him and just like bombarded him, like, "Hey yo, like you need to fuck with me." And he he's getting off stage, like he not really trying to hit that. So he's like, "All right, for sure, holler at my manager." So like he left, and then that's what I did. I went straight to the manager. So from there, we kind of stayed in touch, but it was kind of, he was doing his shit, I was doing my shit, whatever. But we ended up linking on a record with a mutual producer, and he ended up linking back up with me, hit me up, was like, "Yo, come out to Atlanta, let's rap." And I ended up coming. Took me out to one of his like favorite restaurants and introduced to his whole team, and from there we just kind of stayed in touch. He's helped me out tremendously, and so now I'm here,
So that's solid, man. Yo, Scotty's a hard worker. You know what I mean? Like I've had a chance to be familiar with him some early in his career, man. That's definitely a hard worker. What have you taken away from watching him work and watching him put together Cool Club and put together these albums? Like, what have you learned as far as your work ethic and how to put together an album, how to put together a team?
Definitely how to handle business, how to attack situations head on, never run from problems. You know what I'm saying? Sequencing albums, doing stuff not only for you, but making sure you're doing stuff for the people. Writing skills, my pen game has definitely gotten a lot better just from working with him. He pushes me to the limit. He's definitely somebody that will say, go back in. It's not a lot of niggas that'll tell you to go back in on a song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need more niggas like that.
Yeah. We need more real niggas,
we need more people telling people, go back in that booth and re-record that humming.
Real shit.
Real shit, man. All right, so, yeah, of course, man, I'm here. It's a new year. I always tell this is always a funny story.
How's your new year going?
My new year's solid, man. Like so far. I mean, what was it? What's today? The 8th. We 8 days into it, but I started planning the new year back in November. So I'm kind of like now just ready for some stuff to just pop off. Like I said, the Super Bowl shit. I'm just ready for this to do it
Atlanta
now.
Gonna be packed like a motherfucker.
Bro, I already know it. Don't call me trying to go to my house. Don't try to sleep on my couch. Don't do none of that. Just come to an event.
Gonna be tough.
Just come to an event, man. But getting back to the music. So one of the things that I found you music wise through the com. You know what I'm saying? I sat there and really tried to get into you on that project, man. Speak to us about that, like putting together that work, and what was your goal as far as music wise with it?
So again, just going back to me and Scotty's relationship, we talk all the time, and one thing that he's always stressed to me was, challenge yourself creatively. You know what I'm saying? So with JayDotRain, like I've been kind of in this whole weather shit, you know what I'm saying? So I dropped the project prior to the calm called Thank God for the Rain.
Yeah.
And then came the calm, and we actually, this might be exclusive, but I'm getting ready to drop another EP on January 25th that's called Before the Storm. So it's another 4 or 5 records that, kind of coincides with what I got going on. But basically, what I was trying to get across with the calm is just giving you a taste of what I had, what I got coming up. Like, I'm planning on dropping hella music for the year, the whole gang. You know what I'm saying? We all putting out music. So that was really just something to throw out there.
Gotcha. And
see what stuck, what vibes people was fucking with, and then from there go back in, create more vibes that way, and just give it to the people.
Word. What's your favorite record on the com?
Wait and See.
Wait and See.
Yeah. All
right, that's solid. What now? Why would you pick Wait and See? Because it's not like you have a whole bunch of songs on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what made you gravitate to that track?
Aside from the fact that it's like everybody else's favorite, I think it's just a heartfelt record. Like, I remember exactly what I was doing, where I was when I made that record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it stuck. You feel me? My mom on the song. It's dope. So, and it's real shit. So.
All right, so the next project is called what is it? You said
Before the Storm.
Before the Storm. Mm-hmm. Before the Storm. So do you have any plans as far as with that right now? Have you started working on it already, or it's done? All right, so who's featured on that? Can we get an exclusive on that? Like who's any names?
Cool Club.
Cool Club.
King Shy, Scotty, D Horton. This project I just really wanted to stick close with what I got going on in the niggas around me, because there's a lot of talent around me right now.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it was important to do that. So shout out to the whole Cool Club, Tony Bone too.
Word. Shout out to Tony Bone, man. Yeah, I caught Kid during the what was the show y'all did during the A3C with up at Smith's old bar?
Unplugged.
Yeah, boy, I love going to Smith's.
That was my favorite show,
bro. You know what's crazy about that shit? Because I always tell people, like, as far as an artist, you can never tell how popular you are until you do a live show. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me all day you got 100,000 of followers. If you can't bring 40 people into a venue to watch you perform, you not popping.
Right.
And that y'all brought way more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was dope to see, man. So salute to that. So so that project's coming up right now. After that, what's the next movie? We're gonna see a full LP from you?
Yeah, okay. That's definitely coming. Probably right after that. Like, my goal is to like be dropping shit every 90 days.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Hit the streets, hit them hard, come back with some more shit. Cause the game right now is just about content. It's just about like feeding people what they want. Now,
and with that said, do you fear that you'll be putting out too much that people don't catch up to? Because one of my things is this, and I tell folks, the hardest thing to do right now is find new music. Because if I'm going on Tidal, if I'm going on Spotify, if I'm going on Apple, I'm going for something I wanted to hear in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas Illmatic might have popped in my head, or Fetty by Currency and Freddie Gibbs popped in my head. I'm not necessarily going to find a new artist. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like putting out more music on top of that helps you kind of get an audience, you know what I'm saying? Like by putting out so much that eventually you just kind of catch on to it?
It's got to be strategic.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not one to say just flood these niggas with music, because even me, like, I'm a fan of music and I kind of get swamped in that shit sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think that it's good to put out a lot of shit, but less is more.
Yeah.
When I say that, I mean, like, you can drop 3 or 4 at a time. You just kind of put it out there.
You know, I'm not. You saw the welcome mat we got. I'm not the biggest Ye fan right now, but I think what Ye did do the last year was give people basically a blueprint on how you could put out music right now, as far as album wise.
Nana, fucking Pusha T, fucking Nas, like,
if people didn't
shit.
If people didn't catch that 7-track thing, boy, that 7 tracks is a good reason why Pusha T's Daytona is one of the best albums of the year.
Like, it has replay value.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you listen to a Pusha T album, but anything past 10 albums of 10 records of Pusha T is just you listening to a lot of dope music. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just really not a lot of variety. So giving him 7 records, I'm giving him his props, man. It's second best album of the year. Nipsey got the best album, man.
Damn.
I ain't even playing. Matter of fact, speak about that, man. What's your favorite album of 2018 rap wise? Especially with the Grammys coming up, bro. Nip got the best album. Victory Lap, hands down, the best album I heard almost in 2 years, to be honest with you.
Shit. I personally, I agree with you. Yeah. I fuck with Nip, but in a close second, I really like Astro World, Travis Scott.
I thought that was too many records, too. Like, I mean, it's a good album, but I can't do 16, 17 songs no more, man. Especially when it sounds almost the same record over and over again.
It was a vibe, bro. It was just, it was good for the ears, for me. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, I feel you. Travis, definitely, Astro World was up there. I did a top 10 for Cash Color Campus. Astro World was up there. My top 3 honestly was and I didn't put it in there, and I mistaked that. But Fetty, Currency and Freddie,
crazy,
bro. Alchemist did. I can't explain how Currency almost had 2 albums on my top 10, because Marina EP, another one. Like Marina, him and Harry Fraud, dude. It's almost like they made to go together. You know what I mean? But let's talk about this weed, dude. Man.
Let's talk about this weed,
man, because that's what the reason why people tune in to Cash Color Campus. They want to know how y'all feel about weed, man. When was the first time you tried cannabis?
I think I was like 13. Fucking with my uncle, bro.
Man, everybody uncle, man. I'm not that uncle. My nephew cannot tell you that. I'm not that uncle. I've been lying to my nephew for years. I'm not that uncle. I don't smoke weed, bro. What you talking about? What you talking about? You ain't never seen me with a joint, bro. I'll be checking him, bro. Raw papers in your car? What you doing, dude? Like what's all that?
You can't be like that.
Yes, man. I can be like that. I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save your life, dog. Yeah. Like, he too young. He be making dumb mistakes. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's young and you're smart but dumb at the same time.
Me.
I gotta give him props though, man. He's back in Alabama State now. I love him to death.
State?
Yeah, State.
I'm sorry.
What you mean you sorry?
I went to A&M. That's school.
Well, look, my brother went to A&M, so
okay,
it even out. It even out, man. Yeah. I got shirts from both schools. I got
For real, bro.
I got shirts from both schools, man. I went to John C. Smith. I didn't graduate. Somebody want to do it for me.
Hey,
Somebody gonna do it for me. I'm just rocking t-shirts at this point, man. So you got into the bud when you was 13, man. Does weed do something when it comes to your creative process in the music? You know what I'm saying? Like when you writing, do you search out a bud or you search out a certain strain, or do you stay away from weed when you writing because it clouds your mind?
I'm a thinker. I'm a heavy thinker.
Okay.
And so like sometimes weed just get me to thinking too much.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like get dumb stoned, but sometimes I don't need weed to get my emotions across. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends. I'm a moody type of guy, man.
Bro, I feel you, because most of my buddy from Boys in the Hood, you be sitting back thinking about moon, stars, and quasars and a whole bunch of shit, man.
Yeah,
They ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
I ain't got time for that.
They ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man. You know, we in a world right now where we looking towards cannabis becoming a legal thing. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? Feel about legalization and watching the plant go from being something that's been heavily criminalized for so long to something that you should be able to walk into a store and get?
I think it's great, man. I think like when I go to Cali, I see how much more peaceful it is. When I was in, I think I was in Oregon, when me and Scotty shot the So High video, it was just way more peaceful, and you create more jobs for people. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good opportunity, and they need to speed up the process.
Word, man. You see yourself getting into the weed game, innit?
Nah, I leave that to Scotty.
You just gonna be the smoker?
Yeah, I just smoke that shit.
Well, shit, man. I ain't even mad at you, man. So you got, like I said, you just mentioned that you got a new EP that's about to release soon.
Yeah, I got the Calm Now, and then Before the Storm coming very, very, very soon. All
right, but in between that, you also you blessed us for Christmas. Let's talk about a Christmas story, man, because a Christmas story is an interesting. Speak to us about that, man. Like how, what was
some high shit? On some high shit, bro. Like just
this man got high for Christmas
at the crib. What happened was it was a couple days prior to Thanksgiving. Yeah. And one of these producer that I frequently work with, he sent me like some shit he was fucking around with. Yeah. And you know, it sounded cool, and I was, you know, playing around with little melodies and shit in my head, and that one kind of stuck, and I recorded it on my phone, and then I went back to it like right before December started. I was like, man, this would be kind of hard, and I sent it to a couple people, and they was like, no, this is lit. Like, you should push this. With it being around the Christmas time, it'd be something that every year it'll be something that you can continuously put back out.
For sure.
So the video out too, you know what I'm saying? Even if it ain't Christmas, y'all still can bang that shit, you know? So
that's what's up, man. All right, well, it sounds like you got a good year amped up, ready for everybody. For those who want to keep up with your movement and want to make sure they can cop the music when it does drop, how could they get in touch with you? How could they keep up with you?
All of my socials are JayDotRain, JayDotRain. The Calm out right now. Before the Storm is on the way. I think that's it.
Yo, what? Oh, I almost forgot a question I normally ask people, man. If you could smoke with anybody, who would it be?
Damn.
If I'm one of them, I'm here right now. You know what I'm saying? So you can mark that off the box.
Nah,
you did Cash Color Cannabis.
This some real shit. Like, I went to Martin Luther King Elementary School. It's Martin Luther King. Yeah. But like, I just want to know, like,
you want to smoke with Martin Luther King, like Junior?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
My mom was a teacher, and like she would enter me in like these little contests where I would have to like recite like the speeches and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I would just want to talk to him about like how he felt like during this time when all this shit's going on. You know what I'm saying? I think that he would have a lot to say.
I would now you got me thinking. Have you seen Selma?
Nah.
Oh, bro, now you got me thinking, because I'm thinking now if Dr. King smoked, I definitely want to ask him about.
I believe that nigga smoked.
I want to ask him how he felt about Malcolm X, because when he told Coretta, you seem enamored, I was like, bruh.
Yeah, I believe that.
Is it like
smoked,
that?
Bro.
Is it like that for real?
He was under too much stress to not smoke. Bro.
Yeah, but plus the weed was different back then, man. The weed was different back then. I don't know if Dr. King smoked. I don't want to get involved with that and have a bunch of Dr. King's relatives hit me up on Instagram like he never hit a blunt. I don't know what you done, man, but
the power of the internet is real.
I appreciate you coming through today, man. And that's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation. We'll be right back. Let's get these.
So today's video is going to be how to roll a backwood with. What's up, y'all? I hope y'all can hear me because I talk low apparently, and y'all don't need to hear it, so y'all know what the fuck to do. We're gonna start with the backwood. Jump right into it. this is what they look like when you take it out the package. You know? People like to like cut it. Do not cut it. They're supposed to be unraveled, okay? So you find the edge and you unravel it very carefully. I have my little tray right here. You take all the tobacco out that's stuck to it. You're left with this. We need to make this into a rectangle and cut off all the excess because you don't need this much leaf or you will feel sick, okay? Trust me. I've been there throwing up over a fucking backwood. So I'm just cutting that part off and then this section is over here.